Dem Boys Bullet Club face to face. Already an explosive start to this matchup. And you couldn't expect anything less except chaos, as Bullet Club's Gallows and Anderson and Dem Boys, the Briscoes, just go at it. You knew it was gonna be a fight. Pop up by Gallows and Mark Briscoe, a hard hit into the mat. This makes perfect sense as Jay Briscoe just ramming through Doc Gallows. The Briscoes, Jay gonna fly up and over, taking out Gallows and Anderson. What a hot start to this tag team matchup between two incredible tag teams. And now Mark Briscoe, and there comes the elbow, paying homage to Cactus Jack. And this is where the real chaos happens. On the outside, on the floor, Gallows, a big man. There are other words I could describe to say how big this man is. One thing's for sure and for certain, that he's one of the biggest athletes to ever compete here in Ring of Honor. And Gallows and Anderson are gaining control of this matchup. It hasn't even been in the this match has been on the outside longer than it's been in the ring. Oh! And Briscoe. Mark Briscoe sending Karl Anderson hard. Or rather, the opposite. All kinds of chaos is going on. It's almost hard to keep up with it, as Gallows with a big boot takes down Mark Briscoe and just hammering away. I don't know if we're going to even have a winner. This thing could end up outside for all I know. Oh! Shoulder first. And right onto the announce desk. On the timekeeper's table, Gallows collapses through. And the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Mark Briscoe trying to get Doc Gallows back in the ring. Springs up. Oh, massive boot. Caught Mark Briscoe in midair. Doc Gallows looks to follow it up. And an elbow shot through the heart. And that one wasn't too late. Doc Gallows really bringing the fight to the midsection of Mark Briscoe right now. Now we're finally getting this match in the ring. And elbowing Jay Briscoe off the apron. Jay trying to get involved in this thing, but the referee trying to tell him to get out. And just Karl dropping the knee, the exposed knee. And Mark Briscoe able to kick out. Fighting back. A trade of blows for a quick second there as Mark Briscoe tried to get himself back into this matchup. And what a gesture by Gallows and Anderson to the crowd. Pops up, pops through, and a snap and a suplex. This could be the opening that Mark Briscoe's been looking for, but the problem is that Karl Anderson was close enough to Doc Gallows to make the tag. Gallows 6'8". Driving the boot into the neck of Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is one of the most unique talents with that kung fu style of his. His brother Jay, just an impeccable athlete in his own right with a different style. That's why these two brothers work so well together. They have their own unique offense, but when it comes to bringing it together, it works so smooth. They just love a good fight. But the same can be said about Bullet Club and Bullet Club's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. Karl Anderson playing a little dirty there, seemingly biting the forehead of Mark Briscoe. And now it's Anderson perching Briscoe up at the top and meeting Briscoe up there. A suplex could be coming the way. Superplex, might I add, for Mark Briscoe, who is fighting at the midsection, jabbing away. And a headbutt knocking Karl Anderson off at the top. A massive opportunity could be coming for Mark. And leaps across the way. Leaping through, and a desperate tag needed to be. And here comes some jives and jabs from Jay Briscoe. Then they're landing perfectly on Machine Gun. And now Doc Gallows knocked off the apron. Little payback for earlier when Gallows knocked off Briscoe. And Jay able to counter and break free. And up and through, blockbuster off the apron onto the floor. Mark Briscoe takes out the big man. And a spinning neck breaker follows it up quickly, hooks the leg. Will it be enough? And not quite enough to keep down Karl Anderson. Got a massive fight going on the floor between Mark and Doc. You've got the two legal men, Jay and Karl, in the ring. All kinds of action going on as Jay has Karl up on his shoulders. And a nice uppercut to counter. And a trade from Jay Briscoe. Karl Anderson returning the favor. And now it becomes a tit for tat, hit for hit. Who is going to get the upper hand of the exchange? A massive back body drop, though, by Doc Gallows. Lays out Mark Briscoe on the floor. And now Karl Anderson grabbing onto the beard of Jay Briscoe and talking smack. But Jay Briscoe explodes out of the ropes with a big boot that knocks down Karl Anderson. Will Jay Briscoe be able to capitalize on the opportunity? Perhaps thinking Jay Driller, but Doc Gallows is right there to prevent it from happening. Pop-up kick by Anderson, and then a splash into the corner once more, and a clothesline lays out Jay Briscoe. And now a senton, all the weight of Anderson, and now all the weight of a splash by Gallows. Kicks through, and that's got to do it. That's got to be enough. Just like, oh! Wow. And Jay Briscoe manages to kick out. Jay. And now kicks through. Mark saving the day for his brother. And there comes the Kung Fu style. The power of the Kung Fu style. Here we go. The chops coming in. And that last one, an explosive chop that knocks down the big man and sends Gallows to the floor. And now the tag's been made. Mark Briscoe now the legal man once more. Went for a chop. Karl Anderson blocked. Oh, chop to the chest. Shotgun drop kick to the corner. And a massive shot by Jay. Just following up the offense with a discus form to take the big hit. Froggy Bow could be coming through. Up at the top. Froggy Bow. He got all of it. What? We were this close to having new tag team champions. But this close is not enough to say so. And this exact building was the last time that the Briscoes were tag champions. Gets caught by a cutter in midair as Mark Briscoe. And Gallows has Jay up and just pops him down. Jay Briscoe has been laid out, and they're looking for it. They're going to call for Magic Killer. And there it is. Just like that. And Magic Killer is the one for the victory for Bullet Club. And still the World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows, Bullet Club.